Hey YouTube, what's up? It's been a while. I really dropped the ball on doing the YouTube stuff. I know this year has just been crazy. I don't know, I kind of got busy and just dropped the ball. That's all I can say. Since the last video, I've went and done TKO, Saddleback Xtreme, and went and rode at Moto Supreme over in southern Indiana. So here in a little bit you'll see some clips from that. But the biggest change is the KTM went bye-bye. Just kind of got a wild hair in my butt and decided to part ways with KTM and just do the official unveiling of the new bike. We went to the Husky. So the good folks that haul cycles in Springfield, stoked to be riding one of their bikes. It's the 2021 TE 300. Today was the first time I rode it. I didn't really shoot any video from it. It's super dry. I just rode around the house, nothing too crazy. Again, it's really dry. It's been like a month and a half or something like that since we've had any substantial rain. It's really dry, really dry. Nate came over and rode. Had another guy, Scott, come over and he's got a really nice 98 RM250 he fixed up. It's a sweet bike. I mean, he did a really fantastic job. It feels like riding a new bike. It's not very often I find that even when somebody completely rebuilds it, it feels like just like a freshened up bike. This thing felt tight and it is pretty sweet. He came over and rode a couple laps on the loop here at the house, and again, got the Husqvarna broke in. So far I absolutely love it. Maybe just new bike fever or what, but I genuinely do enjoy it so far better than the KTM. I was telling Nate, I feel like to me the KTM almost felt like you were trying to ride a trail bike fast. The Husky seems more like a tried and true race bike per se. Again, just my quick taking, and I don't even have an hour on it yet. Just again, that PDS just doesn't seem, I don't know, I realize how much I don't care for the PDS on the KTM. So riding back on a linkage bike now with the Husky, it just seems to suit me a little bit better so far. Again, we haven't got any tight technical stuff. I don't have all the proper guards for it yet, so that's still to come. We'll give a little walk around, give you the gosh darn bugs. Give you the walk around, give you the plans, what we're gonna fix or upgrade, and what we're gonna leave. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. The TKO, it went okay. I was a little bummed. I was really hoping to qualify into race 2 on Saturday, TKO 2. I wasn't able to do that. It kind of bummed me out. But it was solely on me. I stopped and took too many breaks, and I took a little lull between the last ride and TKO. Ended up getting a cortisone shot in my wrist, and that helped a lot. I was fighting some wrist pain. I think I said that in the last video, but went and had some MRIs and stuff done, and ended up just getting a nice cortisone shot in the wrist, and that did the trick. I felt great, so I didn't do a whole lot of riding up to TKO, so my stamina just wasn't where it needed to be. So TKO 1, I was on pace to make TKO 2 up until towards the end. The guys on my row I started with made the cut in a TKO 2, and I did not. Again, I know for more than 3/4 of the race we were battling back and forth, so I was on pace to do it, and I let him get away. I got winded and stopped, took a break, and just lack of ride time, man. It just bit me in the butt once again. But from there, I talked Chris Snidel into going and doing Saddleback, and Saddleback was what a letdown for me once again. I was way overwhelmed, I guess. Saddleback was the first race back last year. Again, if you go back to my previous video, I bought the KTM August of last year, so August of 2019. Saddleback was September, right around the 1st of September. So I had maybe 2 weeks ride time. And prior to that, I had maybe like a week of ride time on the old KX. So I didn't have a whole lot of ride time going into Saddleback last year. Chose to do it, and again, I wasn't familiar with the terrain, but it was, looking back now, it was dry. It's again an awesome event. So this year I didn't think anything of it, signed up, had expectations to basically be in the same boat that I was in last year, but a couple days before they had 2 inches of rain. I mean, just absolutely like flooded the place, and that made that place ridiculously slick. That is hands down the slickest dirt I've ever ridden on. Again, the course was fantastic. It's nothing I just was not prepared for that. It didn't matter what I did, I just could not find traction. That was just, I mean, again, talked to Chris into doing it, and we went down there, and he said the same thing. It just, normally like the type of dirt we have around here in Illinois where I'm from, on a hill you'll dig out and get a rut, and you can just put your tires in that rut and at least kind of crawl your way up. Saddleback, it was just like grease covered concrete. I mean, like you try to get up out of a creek bank, and it's just, I couldn't find traction. Obviously it was me, because 4 pros did 3 laps, a couple other, I think 4 more did 2 laps, and then there's 30 some people that finished a lap. But it is still, that kind of tells the tale of how tough it was. It was around a 13-mile loop, I believe, and I made it like 7 miles in 4.5 hours, something like that. Again, started out, had a pretty good pace going. I felt okay, and just once the struggle bus arrived, I was full on driving that bad boy. It was struggle fest. But again, that's how she goes. I got to get better. I am getting better. I mean, I think had that been the scenario last year, I wouldn't have made it even that far. So I'm pleased with my progress so far. Again, it's a little slower, but happy with the progress, and just keep getting better. Again, the year's winding down. Again, stoked to be on the Husky now. Try that out. Again, seems to be good so far. Done race for the year. Rev limiter was technically today, this weekend. I was signed up for it, didn't end up making it. Just things at work have shaken up a little bit, and I just wasn't able to make it down to Texas for rev limiter, so kind of a bummer. But watching the footage, I'm kind of nice to not have to go fight that this weekend. Nothing too exciting coming up until November. First week in November is the annual Grouchy Dogs fall trip to Hatfield McCoy. So hopefully I can get some video between here and there, just kind of keep you up to date on the Husky situation. But as far as actual riding goes, that'll be the next big ride, is heading to West Virginia to the Hatfield McCoy trails once again. As always, looking forward to that. That was a freaking blast last year. Great group of guys, great trails, good riding, good food. So looking forward to that. But we'll focus back on the Husky now and just kind of go over what the plan is. So stock wise, I don't plan on changing a whole lot, to be 100% honest with you. Adding brake protection, brake rotor guard front and back, pipe guard, cooling fan, radiator braces, tug straps, and that's about it. Gonna be set up very similar to how the KTM was. I like the way the KTM rode. Again, I'm not gonna knock it by any means. I just, after hopping off the PDS back to the linkage, I do thoroughly enjoy the linkage so far. I may regret it once I'm sitting in a rock garden hung up on the linkage and crying and stuff, but we'll address that when we get there. I was a little nervous on the Magura brakes. I didn't know how I would like that. So far, I'm super impressed. I've noticed the Brembo felt like it was all or nothing to me a little bit. They were darn good brakes, don't get me wrong, but to me, I couldn't quite get the brake feathering down as much as I would like. The Magura just seemed like right out of the box. I mean, I bought the bike sold the KTM on Wednesday night, went and picked this up Thursday, And right out of the box, unloaded it. It was dark out, so I put it around the yard just a couple minutes, just to, you know, obviously I thought I want to ride a little bit, so rode it for a couple minutes, and just, you know, the brakes, you know, I can actually ride nose wheelies just a little bit on it versus the KTM I could not. I just felt like it'd lock up and just want to throw you over the bars. So that's exciting. You know, I do enjoy the brakes so far. I feel like, you know, I'm probably around, last time I checked, like 5'8", 5'9", so I'm not tall, but I'm not super short. But riding hard enduro, you know, a lot of guys are a lot taller than that, and it does help in the rock sections and stuff. So my KTM, I actually, you know, turned down the spring a little bit and had it setting lower than it probably should for, you know, as far as sag goes. But again, I could touch the ground pretty well. Again, talking to the guys at Halls and just doing the research, you know, the linkage bikes do tend to set just a hair bit lower than the PDS bike, and so this bike is untouched and it sets about where my KTM was. So I don't know, I may try to, you know, again, set the sag and see where that puts me at, and may, you know, try to lower it just a scotch. But if it doesn't change at all, I'll be happy with it, because again, it fits me a little bit better at this point. Other than that, that's about it. Obviously, I'll run the 1881 so there's nothing left, because I do enjoy that as an all-around tire. But you know, I've got I'll get a couple Ibexes and I got some old Mooses left over. I'll get the hard enduro wheel set up. I kept my gosh darn it, let's go look. So I don't want to mess this up. The XLA 60s. I kept my XLA 60s off the KTM, so got that. So we'll have a spare wheel set. Other than that, that's about it. So again, hope you guys enjoy the upcoming riding. Appreciate you sticking around. Yeah, I know I've dropped the ball on the video making a little bit, so hopefully we can pick back up a little bit. I know it's fall time. There's not much else to do, so try to ride a little bit and get you some more riding content, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you can stick around after I get done talking. I know it's going on 13 minutes now of me just talking, but stick around. That's when the good riding videos start. We'll put some of the highlights and lowlights from TKO, Saddleback, and riding at Moto Supreme. So again, hopefully we'll run into you guys on the trail. See ya.
Yeah.
Go ahead if you can. Sorry, man. Sorry. My bad. Right around the big rock?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Having a good day?
I've had worse.
Real slow.
Getting tired. Getting tired. Oh, back cramp. Whoa. Hope you're enjoying this, because I am. Oh, get your hands a break. Getting cramps. Man, it's relentless. Footstep. Oh, come on. Break time again. go. I'm good. Go straight. Just go straight. Now he went left. Woo.
him in second.
All right. Need a hand? So, let me pick your front end up and swing it over.
I don't think I'm better off to go over there.
No, not at all. You about got it. There you go.
Don't come here with you?
You might be off a push. You're caught pretty good. That's safe.
I think the well, you're up here. Here you go.
You get the grand prize.
Here's your fresh gator. I don't know how cold it is. It's cooler than you got what you got though.
Well, the bad thing is there's nowhere to go from here. We got to turn around and just go back down.
I figured.